After a full day with Season 2, including the newest map Contaminated, new weapons like the GRT DMR, and sweeping changes to movement and gunplay, the best way I can sum it up is that Season 2 Phase 1 is a very solid update surrounded by horrible circumstances. As a standalone update, Season 2's kickoff feels like a huge breath of fresh air, with a great new map, more content in the sandbox, and a big step in the right direction with most of the new cosmetics. Season 2 in a vacuum is off to a great start, with Xbox hosting free access for Game Pass members, and EA giving out free content to players affected by the EA app outages back during release. Although the update itself is still clinging to limited time events and gimmicks to prop itself up. Ultimately, it feels like Season 2, its balance, mechanics, and content are where this game should have been months ago. Everything in this update, aside from some gimmicks, are a welcome addition, but the fact it took DICE so much effort and hardship to get here really concerns me. After all the money and years in development with such a huge dev team, you'd imagine they'd have major content already built out and play-tested months ahead of time. But here we are, just past a 120-day season that saw the game go back into closed testing and get delayed to deliver what should have been business as usual. Again, a decent update, but damn did it take some effort getting here, while also lacking the sheer amount of content we used to get. Simply put, while Season 2 isn't bad, the current live service model is a mere shell of what players used to get with Premium. But guys, if you like in-depth reviews and discussions on all things Battlefield, drop a like and hit subscribe as we jump into the good, the bad, and the ugly of Day 1 with Battlefield 6 Season 2. To kick things off, we gotta give a shout out to the news map, Contaminated. While it's not my cup of tea, I appreciate how it offers a ton of variety, whether it's the tunnels around C, houses around A, or trenches in between. One thing I believe is paramount to a great Battlefield map is player choice. The ability to play how, where, and what you want, and with the exception of jets, Contaminated lets players choose from a pretty wide range of options, with snipers possibly being the biggest menace because as beautiful as the map is, it does offer a ton of nooks and crannies to camp, but also a lot more cover to move around. Overall, Contaminated ends up feeling like a mix between Monte Grappa and San Quentin Scar, while also trying to add more structure and diversity to help overcome issues associated with those older maps. Another great addition are the 3 weapons we've gotten so far, with the GRT being my personal favorite, but I'm sure the DHS will become one of my top weapons soon enough. At the end of the day, aside from maybe the Recon's new HTI Mark II suppression system, none of the new weapons are really going to change the meta, but they do help round out the sandbox. However, one thing that does change up the meta is the addition of the Little Bird, a fan favorite vehicle which I guarantee will be seeing a nerf very soon. But moving on to live service content, the Season 2 Battle Pass is a real upgrade from Season 1. While the format is essentially the same, now kicking off alongside the Lunar New Year's event, the cosmetics are substantially better, with more grounded military aesthetics, darker mercenary tones, and only a few wackier ones for fans who like that kind of stuff. Bright colors and yellow duct tape are gone across the board, and progression is significantly faster, perhaps even too fast, as career XP and challenges now reward more progress more consistently. So as of Day 1, I'm currently swimming in new content, new weapons, new character skins, new challenges, and a pretty great new map. All alongside that, Update 1.2.1.0 generally feels pretty good. Recoil certainly feels better with heavier weapons, as I've been loving the Scar and L85. Movement definitely feels smoother and more grounded with the nerf to sliding, jumping, and other refinements. And overall, the game just feels a little more polished. If you played last night versus this morning like I did, I'm sure you can feel the difference. But overall, Season 2's content, polish, and new map are all a big win for DICE, but I do have my concerns. First off with the bad, weapon feel is certainly better, but balance is still inconsistent with guns like the SCW SMG having an absurd 3-shot 200 millisecond TTK. Add in mechanics like the sweet spot one-hit body snipers, bad netcode, and questionable bloom on heavier weapons, and I definitely feel like the gunplay can still be frustratingly confusing. Some deaths are instant, sometimes bloom randomly goes further than expected, and sometimes you're deep behind the wall before dying. Season 2 definitely adds to and refines the sandbox, but it doesn't totally fix the meta or balance, which is similar to my other lingering issue, audio. Now, infantry audio is significantly better with this update. The volume and direction of other players is way more obvious. However, ambient sounds, helicopters across the map, and gadgets like the assault stim pen still add way too many audio effects that congeal into a single blurry mess, just like players in dark corners. Distant audio needs to be toned down, effects like the stim pen muffling need to be removed, and players need a halo like they had back in Battlefield 5 for visibility, because all of the current issues now combined with the gimmick of the gas is just adding insult to injury. There's still too many mechanics that are meant to help you, like the defibs, stim pen, and verbal audio cues, that either get covered up, fail to play, or muddy up the audio themselves. And across the board, audio invisibility on top of netcode is where DICE needs to spend their time refining the experience. Now, there's nothing in Season 2 itself that's all that ugly. However, like I said at the beginning, while this was a solid update, my god did the devs and player base get raked over the coals to get here. By now, we all know about 92% of the Day 1 player base has up and left, leaving around 50,000 daily concurrent on Steam after Season 1 started with 550,000. And at the time of recording, we're sitting just under 100k on Steam, which will probably continue to grow throughout the weekend, especially as the game gets free-to-play access on Xbox and a new round of marketing across social media. But this game shouldn't be having to pull itself out of the grave again, only 130 days after release. The fact is, the game shouldn't have lost this many players to begin with. It should have released more content earlier on, and the devs shouldn't be having such trouble keeping this game going after so much money and time was spent up front. Battlefield Studios is an absolute powerhouse of talent, and knowing that, I worry EA is either pulling back already, kinda turning Battlefield's live service into a Madden or FIFA concept, or the Frostbite engine and office politics are so toxic that these talented devs can't get anything out the door, as 2 maps a season is insulting after what we got with Premium, developed by smaller teams. Either way, Season 2 needs to mark a turning point for the game. Battlefield Studios needs to keep up the pace, and finally, after 130 days, it does feel like the game has signs of life again. But if you're not convinced, vote with your money, because with Season 2, they're again charging $25 for a Pro Battle Pass, something I think many of us thought was like the old school premium subscription, but it's turning out to be an insane $25 charge every 90 days, even after the disaster that was Season 1. So if you're not yet convinced, hold on to your money. Let them feel the pain and make the connection that players deserve more, and this franchise deserves more. But guys, drop those comments below and let me know where you'd rank Contaminated. And for everything else Battlefield, stay tuned and subscribe, and as always, thank you guys for watching.